Hi everyone, my name is Parul. Welcome to my channel Parul English Lab. This video is a part of Modal Verb series, and in this lesson we are going to learn about shall, should and ought to, how and when to use them. So let's get into it. So first is shall. I'm not going to talk about shall in detail because I already have made a video on that. If you have not watched it yet, I will mention the link in description box. The video is simple future tense. I have explained shall and will in detail. You can watch that video. But still, just to revise, I'll tell you what are the situations where we can use shall. Now let's start. First is for offers using I and we. So whenever you offer your help or you offer something, you can use shall in an interrogative sentence, not a declarative sentence, because this is the way we use shall generally. It's not that we cannot use shall in a declarative sentence or with any other pronoun. It's not like that, but for new English learners, I would say that this is the way you can use shall, because generally it is used like this, and once you have good understanding about shall, then you can use it in other sentences in different ways. Okay, so first is, shall I get you something? Shall we help you with your luggage? Shall I make your presentation? So this way it's an interrogative sentence and I have used it with I and we. This is the way we use shall, generally with I and we, when we have this situation, offer or suggestion or advice. Okay, here we can use will as well, but in that case we are not going to make an interrogative sentence. That is going to be a declarative sentence. Okay, for example, I will get you something. We will help you with your luggage. I will make your presentation. So this way we can use shall or will while making an offer. Now next situation is suggestion or advice. When you are giving an advice, when you are giving a suggestion, in that case again you can use shall with I and we and in an interrogative sentence. So shall I leave now? What do you think? Shall I stay a little more or shall I leave? Shall we go for a movie? I'm getting bored. Shall we go for a movie? We have time. Shall I invite him for the wedding? We have not been talking for many years. So what do you think? Shall I invite him for the wedding? So you are seeking an advice or a suggestion. So this way we can use shall in an interrogative sentence with I and we. Next we use shall when we make a promise. I shall buy you a necklace on your birthday. I promise you I shall buy you a necklace on your birthday. Here you can use will also. To make promises we can use shall or will, and you don't have to make an interrogative sentence over here because here it's about promise, so make a declarative sentence, but use shall with I and we. We shall be there for you. Whenever you need us, we shall be there for you. We will be there for you. Don't worry. We shall visit you next year. This year we couldn't meet you, but next year definitely we shall meet you. We shall visit you. So this way you can use shall in a declarative sentence using I and we. Now next is obligations. Obligation is an act to which a person is legally or morally bound. You can say it's a commitment or a duty. Like, the tenants shall pay the rent on the first day of every month. So here I have used shall with third person. Till now we have been using it with I and we when we make a suggestion or advice or promise or offer, but when we talk about obligations, in that case we can use shall with third person. So here tenants, third person, candidates, hotel staff, third person. Candidates shall provide their documents by tomorrow. It's their duty, it's their commitment. Hotel staff shall not be responsible for your belongings. So whenever you have this situation and there is an obligation, you can use shall with third person. Otherwise, try to use it with I and we. And in interrogative sentence, when you make an offer or you give a suggestion or an advice, and when you make a promise, you can use it in a declarative sentence with I and we. And when it's about obligation, then you can use shall with the third person and in a declarative sentence. So that's how we can use shall. Now let's move on to should and ought to. Next is should and ought to. Should and ought to are similar in meaning, it's just that should is more common and ought to is more formal. So it is completely your choice whichever you want to use. Now let's see where we can use them. We use should or ought to talk about what is the best thing to do in a situation. For example, they should improve medical facility. Here medical facility is not that great, so they should do something to improve it. So this is the best thing to be done in this situation. They should reduce the crime rate. Crime rate is increasing day by day, so they should do something to reduce it. I ought to exercise more. I'm getting fat. I ought to or I should exercise more. So this is the need of the hour. I should leave now. It's already so late and I should leave now. So this is the best thing to do in this situation. So this way, whenever you talk about what is the best thing to do in a situation, you can use should or ought to. Now next is advice and suggestion. So whenever you have to give an advice or a suggestion to someone, you can use ought to or should. You should talk to him. We ought to leave now. You should work hard. If you want to grow, if you want to get promotion, you should work hard, or you ought to work hard. We ought to meet him tomorrow. So the rule is same, subject plus modal verb plus first form of the verb. Subject, modal verb and first form of the verb. We ought to leave now. You should talk to him. So this is the rule. Now you can make a negative sentence also by using not between the modal verb and the main verb. How? They should improve medical facility. They should not improve medical facility. So generally, while making negative sentences using modal verbs, we use contraction. So should not is shouldn't. Ought to you can use like this because contraction with ought to is not very common. So I would say don't use that. You can use I ought not to. So if we use not with ought to, so not will come between ought and to. I ought not to exercise more. I shouldn't exercise more. I shouldn't leave now. I ought not to leave now. You shouldn't talk to him. We ought not to leave now. You shouldn't work hard. We ought not to meet him tomorrow. So this way you can make negative and positive sentences with ought to or should. Next we use should and ought to talk about what is likely to happen. That means there are chances of something or possibility of something. For example, there should be many guests at the wedding. So I don't know whether there will be many guests at the wedding or not, but since they have a big family, so there are chances that there should be many guests at the wedding. James should be here in 10 minutes. I just called him up and he told me that he was parking the car. So there are chances that he should be here in 10 minutes. They left here at 7 o'clock, so they ought to be home now. So this way, when you talk about anything which is likely to happen, then you can use should or ought to. Now next is we use should and ought to talk about moral obligation or moral duty. However, in this situation, ought to is not very common, so it's better if you use should. People should keep their surroundings neat and clean, so it's our moral duty that we should keep our surroundings neat and clean. We should respect everyone. We should save water. So this way, whenever we talk about moral obligation or duty, we can use should. We use should and ought to express regret about something that was done or not done. So here we are talking about past, and we know that whenever we use modal verb to talk about past, we have to use it with have. So the rule is subject plus should have plus third form of the verb. We have done this with could also, could have, may have, might have. Same way, the rule is same, subject plus should have plus V3, third form of the verb, or past participle. I should have studied harder. I failed my exam. I should have studied harder. So I'm talking about past. So I have this regret that I failed my exam, and I'm saying that I should have studied harder. If I studied harder, I would have cleared my exam. We shouldn't have jumped the traffic signal. We had to pay a big fine, so we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have jumped the traffic signal. We should have invited him for the dinner. We shouldn't have lied to him. I'm feeling bad. We should have invited him for the dinner. So this way, whenever you have a regret about the past for something which was done or not done, in that case you can use should. In this situation, ought to is not very common, so I would not suggest you to use ought to, but yes, grammatically it's correct, you can use it, but should is better. Now we have learned how to make negative and positive sentences using should and ought to. Now interrogative sentences, yes, we can make interrogative sentences also using should. The rule is same. The modal verb which is there at the second position takes the first position and the subject takes the second position. So if a sentence is I should leave now, so if you have to change it into interrogative, then this will be should I leave now? Should I leave now? Now we generally don't use ought to make interrogative sentences. It's always better to use should if you want to make a question. Okay, so just keep these things in mind and revise all the rules, and if you have any doubts you can always mention in comment section, and keep practicing. See you, bye bye, have a great day. Thank you for watching my videos. If you find them helpful, please like and share with your friends. Feel free to leave comments. Do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to receive a notification for the new videos. Thank you, take care and have a great day.